Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for coming down. Was there anybody else wanting to speak on this issue? Okay, we will ask then, I'm sorry.
Joe Struthers, you got my.
Oh, I do, I'm sorry.
I know
Mr.
that I'm
Struthers.
speaking, I'm having problems speaking, but I'm also a video guy, videotaping this for the people be speaking on 44112news.com. And this year, this law director, as they call her, and I had a bout with the Ohio Supreme Court asking to find out what her status was. She swore that she was not the law director, and she was only a consultant telling the city. And I put that on, that's on record, that she had mentioned that she's only a consultant because she.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Are you going to speak
Yes,
to
I'll
this
get to
issue?
it. I'll get to it,
Because we don't want to.
get back to the camera. But the fact is that this whole thing, Mr. O'Mays is one of the authors of that charter you're reading. He didn't tell you that. He's one of the authors in trying to do the story. I found out the people who actually wrote that charter. He's one of the authors. This man, that's his baby. That charter's his baby. I quizzed him last night about it, backwards and forwards. He knows it left and right. So if he's saying that you need 4 people to vote, that's his thing. And he's one of the ones that created it. So I just want you guys to know that. And of course, the people in this Cleveland are watching.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Struthers. We appreciate your comments. Law Director Cummins, did you want to come back up and offer some final comments, and then we'll have your colleague come up and then we'll turn to the board for any additional comments.
Thank you, Your Honor. Madam Chappelle. Yes, true, it says 4/5 in section 94 may submit to the electors and a charter amendment. But again, I defer to the, how does one reconcile with section 105 when it says that the vote upon passage of all ordinances and resolutions. So if you take it out of the may and shall realm, then how can you reconcile the fact that it says upon the passage of that all ordinances and resolutions are passed by 3 members? Then it says the adoption of any ordinance or resolution. Look at that very carefully. The adoption of any ordinance. So there is a conflict between the two. And in light of the fact that there's been abuse of Section 94 repeatedly, the economic consequences, I wish to now defer to Mr. Ian to demonstrate. And the fact that the citizenry who continuously put forward these recall petitions have not been acting responsibly, and this is indeed an attempt to bring some kind of relief to the finances of the city of East Cleveland as people do so without regard to any legitimate concern for those finances. And at this point, I would like to defer to Mr. Charles Ian.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Simmons. Mr. Ian, would you please come up to the podium and identify yourself and address the board? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Charles Ian. I am the Deputy Finance Director of the City of East Cleveland. This directed him and wanted me to come up here, not really to talk about the legislation or the charter per se, but to highlight the cost of the election and particular recalls and the impact it's had on the city's finances. It should be well documented regarding the city of East Cleveland's fiscal emergency. And so we have a recovery plan that that's 5 years that we've been working on, trying to eliminate a lot of deficits and expenses that we find that continues to hurt the city as far as coming out the recovery. And so we, I think him has already mentioned that the cost of the election is taken out of our property tax distributions we get. And so we researched what those costs are. And so in December of last year, we had a recall election and it cost the city $10,600. And this year, June of 2016, we had another recall election and it cost the city another $10,600. And we have another recall election coming up December of this year, and that's going to cost the city estimated about $25,400. So the point is that that's a total of $46,000. And so the point she wanted me to reiterate to the board members is that the purpose of trying to change the charter is to help alleviate some expenses to the city that is obviously, continue to hurt the city coming out fiscal emergency. And so as we have many expenses, as she briefly on, we have self-insured medical expenses. Last year we had to spend $1.8 million on taking care of our employees and their health insurance. We pay our rubbish fee for our citizens. That's close to $100,000 a month. And we're trying to continue to obviously keep the street lights and traffic lights, and that's about $25,000 a month. So it's just wanted to point out a couple of expenses that that the $10,600 that of these elections could be used towards, paying for things to help maintain the city.
Thank you for your comments. And Dave, you have
Actually,
or Rob?
before we begin deliberation, as I mentioned before on another matter, I do at times serve as designee of the East Cleveland Financial Planning and Supervision Commission. I had intended just to make that as a disclosure because there's nothing that we oversee that is impacted by this decision, and I don't believe that, so I won't get into that. I had not intended to need to recuse. Now that the Finance Department has made the argument, whether relevant or not, about the cost of the election and its impact on the recovery plan, I wanted, in addition to my disclosure, I still don't believe there's any need for me to recuse, but if any party would want to request my recusal from deliberation and decision on this matter, I would consider that request before we move forward.
Thank you for the disclosure. Obviously it's your decision about whether you feel that you need to recuse yourself. My view, I'm sorry about the cost. It does pull at, tug at heartstrings, as a girl that grew up in East Cleveland, and my family, I lived on Farmington Road for many, many years. And so I know that there's a cost issue. I do think that's separate and apart from our issue here today. Although, it's obviously something that, resonates with us in a different way. I'll just make that comment. Again, Rob, it's up to you. I don't feel compelled to make that request of you because I don't think the cost issue is relevant to our decision today, although we hear you, and it's, something I think that